Shalom, shalom. This week's Parsha is Ki Teitzei, and I would like to touch on a bit of a sensitive topic, pun intended. And I'm going to begin by telling you that I have four daughters. I'm a woman myself, and I worry sometimes that, God forbid, what happens if I'm ever in a situation where a man comes to attack me, God forbid, rape me. And I always tell the children, do whatever you can, scream, yell, run, just try and get away. And if you can't, because the man is too strong or powerful and he's already grabbed a hold of you, find a vulnerable spot and attack and then run. Poke him in the eyes. If you can't, you can kick him in his privates, even grab and twist if you have to just get out of that situation. It's very dangerous. And then I was reading this week's Parsha, and it's talking about when there were two men fighting, and the wife of one of the men, um, as the opponent, is attacking her husband, she comes in and she grabs a hold of his private place. And the pasuk says, "You should cut off her hand and show her no mercy." And I'm like, "Uh-oh, what?" And so then look right down to the commentary. It says right there that the Or HaChaim says, well, this is in a situation where there's no mortal danger. She didn't have to do it. She had other recourse, and she just did this to embarrass and to humiliate him in the fight. And so she was just playing dirty. It wasn't totally unnecessary and uncalled for. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I went back up and looked at the pasuk, and I see that the pasuk starts by saying there are two men fighting. And it's interesting because this week's parsha gives a lot of different scenarios, and it always lays out how something would happen. And in some of the cases, it says if one man comes and da da da, and then, but this one doesn't say that one man started up with the other guy and his life was in danger. It says two men are fighting. They seem equally culpable, equally guilty, equally contributing to staying in this fight, and the woman just comes in to humiliate and play dirty, fighting the other guy. And it's really made sense to me when I thought of it in that light, where she would get this punishment, because the rest of the parsha talks so many different scenarios. It talks about preserving the sanctity and the dignity of people. There are so many examples. The first one that I can think of in the parsha is, it talks about a man who has two wives, and he loves one and another one's hated, and the hated wife has the firstborn male child, and then the loved one has another one. And it says you can't show preferred treatment to the second son over the first son of the hated wife. You have to give him his due. He gets pish nayim, he gets double for being the firstborn. And it's really, really not right to, just because you love the mother of one over the other, to take away from the dignity of her child or her own dignity. You're still married to her. She still deserves displays of respect. Don't take away her dignity in that way. And then it talks about also if somebody does something and they're under penalty of death. And in those days, when somebody, one of the punishments of the people was to hang them. We don't do that nowadays, but they did do that. And so the Torah says, okay, if you have to do that, you do that, but you don't leave him hanging there beyond the first day that you hung him. Even in death, you have to worry about the dignity of the person who's created in the image of God, and you don't let him hang there like a rag doll. It takes away from the dignity of humankind. Then it talks about the dignity of poor people, how you have to leave the food for them in the field, and you drop a load, you keep it and let them have it and don't bother them. Give them their food and let them maintain their dignity without you saying, that's mine. That's like not the way to be. And one that's really important to me, and I think that people should really be strict about, is it talks about workers and paying them on time. If somebody's worked for you, you should pay them on time. They deserve it. They're owed it. And don't make them come and ask you. It takes away from their dignity and from yours too. You are supposed to pay somebody, you pay them on time, and don't make them come and ask for what they're owed. It's just not right. And then it also talks about the dignity of somebody who's forced to take a loan and they give you let's say their garment for security for collateral. It's as if they need it. If it's they're going home at night and they need it to sleep, let them have what they need. Don't keep it because until you pay me back, I want to make sure you're going to pay me back. I'm going to hold this note. Worry about what their needs are too when they're not in front of you, when they go home, what's going to be in their home life and how to take care of them and make sure that they have what they need, not just the loan that you loaned them. um, so many different things. And one more that I really want to mention is about keeping to your word. It says if you say something, you do it. It's really detestable to say something and to do something else. Sometimes, look, we can't help it. We said something, something came up, and we didn't mean to, and that's a whole nother story. But even in that, be very, very careful before you say you're going to do something. Don't jump right ahead because you want to be, even when you're the best, you want to be good, you want to be helpful. Oh, I'll do that, I'll help you. No, you know what? Think for a minute. Can you really do that in reality? What are your obligations elsewhere? Will you be able to see that through? I hate when people offer help when they can't really help. It really makes me lose respect for that person. So if you're going to offer your help because you really think you can and you really want to, you can do that, but say, I will do my best that I can to help you out and to see that I can do X, Y, and Z. Be very careful with that. I mean, listen, people, we are our word. People deserve, if you say something, to have it seen through. People are you know, there's nothing like a man of his word or hers, and nothing to me worse than somebody who makes promises and doesn't keep them. So with all that, I think there's a lot of things going on in this parsha about preserving dignity. And the bottom line is, women, men, if somebody comes to attack you or harm you, and you have to, in order to save your life, do something like that entails grabbing a hold even of somebody's privates to harm them. In a life-saving situation, you do what you have to and save yourself and your family. And with that, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Till next week.